Hey there guys, what is going on? And in today's video, I think you'll find we'll be doing something kind of different. We're playing GTA 5, and as you can see, we're kind of doing a car review. So let's get straight into it. So the first car that we have right here is called the Lampadati CARS. Now this car, overall, it's a very well driven car. You know, as you can see, you know, it's pretty fast. You know, it's pretty speedy. You know, it's getting around the corners pretty well. You know, it handles extremely well throughout tight corners, as you'll see here. Look at this. Look at that. That's a very, very nice car. Honestly, sports classic car. Very, very fun to drive. You can throw it around corners, as you might be able to see here. Yeah, you can throw it around corners. It drifts really well. Honestly, I don't know why I don't see this car more online. It's honestly an amazing car to drive. It's based off, if I can find it correctly, the car is based off of, it's some kind of Maserati. I think it's the Maserati 2500 GT. Of course, Lampadati is Maserati. And yeah, essentially, it's just a very good car. So I'll be ranking them all at the end of the video. Make sure you stay for that, or you can fast forward to that now if you want. So yeah, I'm just going to send up the best driver before I continue. So yeah. So on to the next car, and that next car is the Lampadati Felon. Now, I don't really have a lot to say about this car, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave you with a few things. This car is honestly not a good car. It's a civilian car. You can get it from the start. You know, you can drive around, you can find it on the street, and you can just choke someone out and grab one. And you know, the most expensive cars in terms of like sales price, you can sell it to the guy in the Los Santos Customs, and you can get you'll get the most money from that out of any other car. Like the other cars that you can sell for a similar amount of money are the custom Sentinels, but you don't really find them as much. So if you're starting out and you want P, then you can just like sell these, I guess. But you have to wait. It's like one a day. It's really stupid, and I don't know why they've added that. I think it's to prevent you from earning too much money. It's a money-making method, you know. But I get what they mean. Honestly, yeah, the Lampadati Felon, it's just mediocre. You know, it's a slow car. It doesn't handle very well. It's a coupe, so, you know, it's not exactly a competitive car in races either. You're not going to really see many races based around the coupe section. So yeah, all around, if you want one, just grab it from the street. But personally, in my own opinion, I don't recommend that you get one, because I feel that they're just kind of useless. So yeah, so on to the next car, we have the Lampadati Michele GT. Now, again, I don't really have much to say about this car, so I'll just say a bit more. When you compare it to the Casco, the first car that we've shown, it's not really that good at all. Well, I guess you could say it's as good in some parts. You know, you can throw it around corners more. It responds just as well with handling, like in terms of handling, as the Casco. But when you put it on like a one-on-one, I feel as though the Casco would just completely annihilate it, because it just feels like it's a more fluid car. You can handle it, and it responds. It responds to your like input a lot better than the Michele GT. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with that one and let you watch the rest of the clip. On to the next car, guys, and this is the Lampadati Viceris. Now, out of the ones that I've shown so far, this is the one that I enjoy the most. This is a car based off the 1971 Di Tommaso Panzera. It's a very funky Italian car, and to be honest, it's just a really nice classical car that is extremely fast in a straight line. Honestly, it's one of the funnest cars that you can drive in GTA. As you can see, it responds extremely well to corners, and honestly, slightly slow or fast, you can have as much fun in this thing as you want. The visuals of the car, I just love it. Some people might think, you know, it's a bit flat, it's a bit straight, it's a bit boxy, but honestly, this thing is just amazing. Just, you know, look at that, so smooth. And obviously we're not talking about lap times in this video, this is just comparison on, like, you know, just general things. And overall, if we're comparing it on general things, I would say the Lampadati CARS is just great value for your money, guys. If you've got enough cash to buy this thing and you want to have a bit of fun, buy it. You know, kind of taking back what I said before, the Lampadati Pagale is the favourite of what I've shown so far. The Lampadati Pagale, from what I can gather, is based off a Maserati Merak, and it's a classic car. You know, most of what I've shown is classic cars so far, considering that Lampadati or Maserati are they're a brand sort of bestowed in Italian history. But anyway, onto the car. The car it's very fun, and it's a car that I own in GTA Online personally, because out of the cars that I tested and the cars that I wanted to buy, this was the one that I wanted to buy the most, although there is one that kind of beats it out later on in the episode. So, what is this car's strong points, and what is this car's weak points? So, the strong points of this car is the handling and the speed in a straight line. It's like, the acceleration in this car is not really that decent, but once you get it going in a straight line long enough, this car is an absolute missile. This thing cannot be stopped. And honestly, if you're going into a sports classic race, there are better cars to choose. Honestly, there are lots and lots of better cars to choose. Maybe even the Casco from earlier on in the video. But if you want a solid choice, here it is. But onto the next car, the Tropos Rallier. I keep saying this, and guys, honestly, I mean it. Out of the cars I tested, like, out of all of them that I tested, this has to be my favourite. It's based off a Lancia Stratos, another Italian brand, and is technically made for off-roading, but we're just using it on the test track, you know, just to sort of add something, you know what I mean, so it's fair with all its competitors. So this car is absolutely glued to the circuit. Now, yeah, bit of a blooper there, boys. You know, I didn't see that black car coming, so yeah. But honestly, this thing is completely glued to the track, and it's out of the ones that I tested. Even the Furore GT, which will be one of the last cars that we test, this thing has to be the fastest out of all of them. Not the biggest surprise though. That will be the next one. So yeah, this car was the fastest that I've driven. It's got to be the best handling out of all of them. And honestly, with the new cars, with their price tags that are being added, I think this is, out of all the cars that you're going to get, this is probably going to be your best value for your money, because the Furore GT isn't really competitive, and this isn't either, but it's definitely more competitive. And on to the next one, this has to be the biggest surprise of them all. The Lampadati, let me just find it here, what's it called, the Novak. The Lampadati Novak is the biggest surprise out of all the cars I've tested in this episode. This car, for an SUV, is one of the fastest cars in GTA 5. Honestly, the acceleration on this thing is something, it's like a rocket shot out of hell. Look at this thing go around the circuit, man. And while the handling's not exactly great, it you know, it leaves something to be desired from other cars, you know. Like, you've got stuff like, for example, the next car that we've got, the Furore GT, it's a supercar. It's in the supers class, yet when you compare it to this, for the class it's in, it doesn't really compare, you know. It's one of the new cars, actually, and honestly, if you've got the cash willing to spend, you know, like the Tropos Rally, then this is a really good buy, because not only does it look mad posh, it is a really extremely fast car, and honestly, I think they made some kind of glitch with this thing, because compared to the other ones, it's just too fast. And on to the last car, guys. the Lampadati Furora GT, a vanilla car. It's a pretty fast car, and overall it is based off the Maserati Alfieri concept. Now, this car, for what class it's in, it's underwhelming, but out of this footage, it's got to be the best one there, because it's in the supers class. It's obviously the fastest out of all of them, but it's really underwhelming when you compare to the amount of fun and the amount of joy you can get out of the other cars in this episode. Like, honestly, if you're comparing it to other cars, then it doesn't really work, because it's one of the slowest superclass cars, you know. It's faster than the Bullet or the Voltic, but it's not really faster than anything else. Like, there's not really a point, really, to buying this car, because it's so underwhelming that you're not really going to enjoy it. Like, what point is there in it? I don't understand why anyone would buy this car. I mean, it is cheap. It's in the 100 to 200k range. I don't remember our sure prices at the end of this video. But honestly, if you're wanting to buy a car, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it.